Mr. Johnny Ordon, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. If anyone would y'all please turn down their cell phones or turn them off or put them on vibrate if you don't mind. Next we have roll call. Mr. Colley.
Yes, sir. Seat A, Chucky Sheremy.
Here.
Seat B, Johnny Ardorn.
Here.
Seat C, Jimmy Lafourche.
Here.
Seat D, Rodney Gisclair.
Here.
Seat E, Curtis Pierce.
Here.
Seat F, Larry Griffin.
Here.
Seat G, John Melisson.
Here.
Seat H, Mike Colley. Here. Seat I, Chris Colley.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Colley. Next we have approved minutes for August 12, 2020 regular meeting. I need a motion. Moved by Mr. Larry
Second.
Griffin, second by Mr. John Melisson. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have Director's Report. Mr. Chasson.
Thank you, Mr. President. First is our northern expansion. Northern expansion slip C, 1,100 foot east bulkhead, Pucciolo and Associates. Joe.
Yes, Shaver's Widow is the contractor on this job. They're continuing to drive concrete piles for the concrete dead man. They've fitted up all the pipe bumper and all the whaler. They've driven all the steel sheet piles. And they're also currently welding on the structural components of the bulkhead. And then they're getting ready to start pouring concrete dead man pretty soon here. They are on schedule. They've had a few setbacks with storms and whatnot, COVID issues, hiring people, but they're pretty much on schedule, so it's going well.
All right, any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Northern expansion slip D and Bayou Lafourche dredge, GIS engineering. John.
We are currently advertising for bids for this project. Our pre-bid conference is scheduled for this afternoon, and we will be scheduled to take bids next Thursday at 11 o'clock.
All right. Any questions?
Thank you.
John. Moving on to airport projects. Joe Wheeler.
All right, for aircraft operations, we had 1,678 operations, 6,254 passengers emplaned, and 11,894 vehicles. It's a lower number of vehicles, mainly because we had the radar counter was down for 5 days for the two storms. But on average, it would have averaged out roughly 15,000, what we have been doing. Typically give you all guard data from our system that we bought back in January. Unfortunately, I may have broke it. I don't know. We're going to find out this afternoon, but I couldn't get the data from it. But hopefully next month I'll get that data to y'all.
And what mechanism is that, Mr. Wheeler?
It's a computer that uses an algorithm with radio traffic and is able to calculate your operations in a 5-mile area. But it also uses the new ADSB receiver, and it also counts that traffic also. So all aircraft are being required to have this ADSB on it, at least what they call ADSB out. It's part of the next generation air traffic control system. So uses those two things and starts giving you a number for a 5-mile radius.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, and Airport Connector Road and Bridge, Pucciolo and Associates.
Yeah, so our 100% final plans are in. They're still making some minor comments, but we expect them to get them the final set of plans today after lunch. We've also gotten approval on our environmental document, which is FONSI, which is a finding of no significant impact. That's really important for this project right now because it opens the door to get us our authorization, and then for right-of-ways, appraisals and everything to continue on with that process. We've also got in touch with the Coast Guard. We've sent them that environmental document, so they're going to start processing their permit also. So we're still scheduled to let the project in early November of this year, and award sometime early in 2021. So that's all good stuff.
And moving on that, we assigned this morning the build grant agreement with the federal government. So we're sending that in. So that was a key. We needed the funds to be able to do that, so we finally were able to do that. And there's a letter that we have to write and give them information to DOTD for their request for obligation, and it's going to be for conditional obligation. So that's going to be done before the end of the week as well. So that's moving along. Bryce, I know you have some more updates as well.
Right, on the right-of-ways for the Martin property, the two appraisers did their site inspection yesterday. We provided them with all the sales data that Mr. Martin used in his appraisal so that they would consider it, whether or not they want to incorporate it into their revised appraisal reports. We're hoping to get those to DOTD for their review within the next few weeks. And on the remainder of the property, the site visits are scheduled for this Friday, and we're looking at the same kind of time frame, submitting everything to DOT. So.
All right. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, other projects. Feasibility study and WRDA update. Just last week, we had a conference call, a virtual meeting with Senator Cassidy. Kind of talked about the WRDA bill and what was going to happen, when they might take it up on the Senate side, and all indications are that the Senate will not take it up until after the election. So it'll be sometime in November or December that they would actually take up the WRDA bill and pass it. Not necessarily what we wanted to hear, but as long as they pass it is the key to that. So we're staying on top of that and continuing to have discussions with our senators to make sure that that happens and we're included. Any questions on that? Okay, and Tidal Creek Bridge and culvert improvements.
Yes, this is a project where we're doing some improvements and associated with the mitigation area along Slip D. We're adding in a concrete bridge with a canal connecting the Tidal Creek to Flotation Canal, and we're also extending the culvert that goes into the marina, the front marina, underneath Flotation Canal Road. At that culvert, we'll have a kayak launch, and we'll also have a wharf with a bridge. People that like to cast net and whatnot will be able to hang out in that area on that wharf and throw their cast net for shrimp and crabs and whatever they like to do. We are currently advertising for bids. We'll receive bids on September the 30th at 2 p.m. So pretty soon we'll have some numbers on that and we'll get started on this project.
Okay, any questions? Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay, update from the LA1 Coalition. Henri.
Good morning. Phase 2 of the LA1 improvement project's design is continuing to advance. Louisiana DOTD is having the design consultant, HNTB Corporation, combine all of the segments into one set of plans to bid the project out as one large construction contract. At this point, Louisiana DOTD feels that the contract will be let in October of 2021, in about 13 months, and they expect to execute a construction contract by December of 2021 with whoever will be the successful bidder. The project is expected to be complete by December of 2027. It'll take 6 years to build. On the project's finances, $416 million of funding has been identified. The last estimate for the construction cost was $445 million. While the state will have to identify additional state funding, it has options at doing this over the 6-year construction period. The state has asked the coalition to continue to work to garner industry match commitments, and we're working toward that. The state is working with Marquee Resources on finalizing arrangements to complete pipeline work on several pipelines where Phase 2 of the elevated highway will pass. Those pipelines are shown in yellow on this slide. Louisiana DOTD has a majority of funding secured for this work and hopes to have it completed by the second quarter of 2021. And finally, Wisner Land reached out to the coalition in support of the East Leeville Marsh Creation Project, shown here on a slide. The project would rebuild marshes on the east side of Bayou Lafourche near Leeville. The project is up for a competitive construction vote at QIPRA's December Technical Committee meeting. Wisner is trying to get letters of support from area businesses. If anyone is willing to provide a letter of support, you can contact me, and I can get you in touch with the project champion at Wisner. Any questions?
Any questions for Maureen?
Yes. So bids, to reconfirm, bids will go out in October 2021. And
They will accept bids.
bids on 2021.
Competitively, yes.
And award bids by December 2021.
Correct. About 2.5 months later, they think it takes a while for them to get the bonding documents in from the successful bidder that has to go get the project bonded.
And to reaffirm, it's a 6-year project.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. I'd like a copy of that.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else? Okay.
Thank you, Maureen.
Okay.
All right. And we have public comment? I believe we have public
Yeah, Mr. President, I have Ms. Darlene Lered-Jeremy here. She wants to announce her candidacy for public office.
Come up to the podium,
Come
Ms.
up to the
Doreen.
podium.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here. My name's Darlene Lered-Jeremy, and I'm a candidate for Lafourche Parish Constable in the 10th Ward. And I would like your support and any help. You know, just talk good for me. You met me, or for me to sing a song, I could sing.
I know that
No,
was
but that's it.
I know it was one of your husband's biggest thing. He wanted to be a constable, so.
Yes, I can't fit in his shoes, but I could follow his dream.
Yeah,
What is your number, ma'am?
81. My number's 81.
okay.
Thank y'all.
Good luck.
Thank you. Now, listen, you can stay for the rest of the meeting, or if you have something more important to do, you can go do it. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for
Thank you
coming.
for coming. All right, any more public comment? Okay, moving on, committee reports. We go into executive committee. Members are Chucky Sherman, Chairman, Rodney Driscoll, Sr., Mike Colley, and John Mellison, Jr. First, we have consider approving the request from Omni Energy Service for deferral of improvement rent on site GLF 625. Need a motion.
I'll move.
Moved by Mr. Rodney Gisclair, seconded by Mr. Chris Colley. We need any discussion?
I just state that it's a deferral of improvement rent through June 2021.
Okay.
Okay.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have considered request from All Port Services to lease site GLF 341. You want to talk?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, talk.
Okay, so this is a 4.7 acre tract that All Port Services would like to lease, potentially to store pipe and other things, so recommendation to approve.
I need a motion. Moved by Mr. Johnny Ordorn, second by Jim Lafont. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, consider approving the port policy on pay philosophy.
Okay, so we wanted to change our current policy, and what the current policy, the new policy would be is that instead of having different increases in pay based on a successful rating or an excellent rating, there would be one for everyone, and we have different things that we could do for our employees on an individual basis if they're an excellent employee and we want to do something for them. But it would be a 1% port performance adjustment given by the Board of Commissioners, and then an employee performance adjustment of 2.5% for a total of 3.5% annually, based on a successful or excellent evaluation.
All right, I need a motion. Moved by Mr. Larry Griffin, second by Mr. Curtis Pierce. Any discussion on this matter? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, consider approving the amendment to the cooperative endeavor agreement with the Lafourche Parish government for the airport connector road and bridge.
Okay, so we had an agreement that was set forth, but it did not discuss where the maintenance would lie. So this is an amendment to the agreement that says that the Lafourche Parish government will maintain the airport corridor road and bridge, and the Port Commission will maintain the grass surrounding that area.
All right. I need a motion. Moved by my colleague, second by Mr. Rodney Gisclair. Any discussion? Any public comment? Daniel?
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I just want to let you, Daniel Lorraine, 134 East 176. I just want to let you guys know that we met Tuesday night, and we did adopt amendment number 1, the cooperative endeavor, according to what y'all really wanted. And the most exciting part that I want to tell you, it passed 801.
That's great.
So one was absent, but it's coming around better. And I just want to let you guys know that.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any more public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Next, considering the approved request from Oceaneering for a new tower lease TL117.
Okay, so we've gone through this with Oceaneering. They have 2 radars they want to put on the tower for some considerations, from Homeland Security considerations. So we recommend approving this lease.
Right, I need a motion. Moved by Mr. Chris Colley, second by Mr. Johnny Ardorn. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Now we're getting out of Executive Committee. We're going into Permits and Waterways Committee. Members are Curtis Pierce, Jimmy Lafourche, Chucky Sherman, Johnny Ardorn. Mr. Pierce.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have 3 permits. First is Glen Plaisance, proposal to dredge material and place within a barge on the bank to reclaim property loss due to erosion. Approximately 0.01 acres of marsh may be impacted as a result of this proposed activity. Next, we have Corps of Engineer, FY21 maintenance dredging, Port Fouchon Jetty and Bar Channel in Lafourche Parish. And lastly, we have NOAA, NOAA, temporary water level gauges at 6 locations in Livingston Parish, Lafourche, St. Bernard, and Plaquemine Parish. And that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. We are now Permits and Waterways, going into Construction and Development. Members are Larry Griffin, Chairman, Chris Colley, Jim Lafourche, Chucky Sherman. Mr. Griffin, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First is consider rejecting the airport obstruction removal proposal.
Okay, so we had no bids the first time we bid it out, 1 bid the second time we bid it out, and very high priced. So Bryce, you want to go through with that?
Right, as we discussed on Monday night, because this 1 bid exceeds our pre-construction estimate, one of the options is to reject it. And I think, as Joe mentioned in his report, we're going to look towards rebidding this project next year when additional funds will be available. So our recommendation would be to reject this bid.
Okay.
All right, if I have,
Go ahead, Mr.
are we going to be able to identify a little bit more precisely what's going to be removed? Is that our plan?
Yes. Yeah, so we're going to make some changes to the scope because instead of having some surveys done through the contractor, we're actually got quotes and are getting it done ourselves beforehand,
Okay.
which is actually saving us money on the front end, and we're going to provide that information to the contractor whenever that happens in a, at the beginning of next year, I guess, something like that.
Good, thank you.
All right. I need a motion.
Move.
Moved by Mr. Ronnie Just Clear, second by Mr. Larry Griffin. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion pass.
Next is consider approving the lighting agreement with DOTD for the Airport Connector Road and Bridge project.
Okay, so as we talked about on Tuesday evening, this is the lighting agreement for the street lights that'll be on the connector road. Recommendation to approve.
All right. Need a motion. Moved by Mr. Johnny Ordon, second by Mike Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's passed.
Okay, that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Next, we go into Finance Committee. Members are John Mellison Jr., Chairman, Rodney Gisclair Sr., Mike Colley, and Chucky Sherman. Mr. Mellison.
Morning, and thank you, Mr. President. We'll begin by consider approving payments of the August 2020 invoices and recognizing those over $10,000. Item 1, Shavers Whittle Construction, $164,531.45, and that's for Slip C Phase 3 Bulkhead Part 1. Item 2, JBT Electro, $45,940, and that is for the 2020 aircraft tugger used at the airport. Item 3, Marsh USA, $40,000. That is the annual fee for insurance renewals at the port. Item 4, Ascent Aviation Group, $31,953.16, and that is fuel for resale at the airport and truck rental. Item 5, PCO and Associates, $27,717.63, and that is for the Airport Connector Road and Bridge, Slip C Phase 3, 1,100 feet of East Bulkhead, Flotation Canal Pavilion and General Engineering, Flotation Canal Front and Commercial Marine Dredging, and the Tidal Creek Bridge and Culvert Improvements. Item 6, Vision Communications, $27,498.49. That's for phone, fiber, internet, and cable services. Item 7, NOAA, $23,970, and that's for real-time port system titled data. Item 8, MS Binbo and Associates, $20,303. That is for the Port Fourchon Tower Inspection and Consulting. Item 9, American Integration Contractors, $20,135.22. That is for the wireless network and security camera maintenance. Item 10, Grand Isle Shipyard, $20,082.05. That is for limestone for the public boat launch at Nerby Collins Marina and Flotation Canal, and contract labor for the airport. Item 11, Gobert Oil Incorporated, $13,533.28, and that's for fuel for vehicles and equipment. These expenditures, along with the rest, bring us to a total of $1,165,613.20. And Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion we accept these expenditures.
Okay, Mr. Mellison, thank you. I need a second by Mr. Mike Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Next, we have on the agenda, consider approving the August 2020 unaudited financial statements as discussed on Monday night. And I'd like to make a motion, we accept these.
Okay, I got a motion by Mr. John Mellison Jr., second by Jim Lafont. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
And next, we'll move into adopting the 2020 ad valorem millage rate, and I'll turn that over to Mr. Chasson at this time.
Okay, so as you are aware, we did receive from the assessor's office that our new millage rate would need to jump up to 7.8 mills to receive the same amount of revenue from our millage that we received last year, which is $4,059,241. I don't believe that that is the wish of the board. Last year, in our fourth and final year, we did roll up to 6.83, which for this year would generate $3.5 million. But when we made that roll up last year, we committed to the public that we would roll back down for this year. So our recommendation to the board is to go to 6.54 mills as we stated to the public we would do, and that would generate $3,403,115, saving the public, the tax-paying public on property taxes about $600,000.
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Chasson? So my question would be, do I read the resolution and we make a motion, or
Yes,
we make a motion and then read the resolution?
So the resolution needs to be read out loud first, and then all of the process would.
It's an individual vote, roll call vote?
Yes.
Roll call vote? Okay,
So would you like me to read it, or you do want to read it?
I'll go ahead and read it, I got it here. Be it resolved that the following millages are hereby levied on the 2020 tax roll on all properties subject to taxation by the Lafourche, Greater Lafourche Port Commission. The millage will be 6.54. Be it further resolved that the proper administrative officials of the parish of Lafourche, state of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2020, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law. The foregoing resolution was read in full, and the roll call on the adoption thereof and the resolution will move forward.
And just to be clear, that it states that the millage of 6.54 mills is for maintenance.
For
You gotta
maintenance.
state that. Yep.
And I believe we would turn roll call over to Secretary Colley.
Yep, but we need a motion.
Move.
Moved by Mr. Curtis Pierce, second by Mike Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? Now, Mr. Colley has to do roll call.
Seat A, Chucky Sheremy.
Yes.
Seat B, Johnny Ardon.
Yes.
Seat C, Jimmy Lafont.
Yes.
Seat D, Rodney Gisclair.
Yes.
Seat E, Curtis Pierce.
Yes.
Seat F, Flyer Griffin.
Yes.
Seat G, John Mellison.
Yes.
Seat H, Mike Colley, yes. Seat I, Chris Colley.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
been approved.
All right, motion pass. All right, that's all we have. Okay, Mr. Mellison.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Chasson, anything you'd like to add to this before we move to the next agenda item?
No, I think.
All right, next.
Thank you.
Moving into consider approving the new insurance renewals, and once again, I'll turn that over to Mr. Chasson.
Okay, so we did get our insurance renewals. We went through it very consistently and through very thoroughly at the meeting on Tuesday evening. The recommendation from the administration, based on the discussion that we had at our committee meeting on Tuesday night, is to go with all of the lowest quotes, with the exception of the one which was for public officials liability. That one we would go with the XL Caitlin PGU 2020 to 2021 because it gives us unlimited defense outside the aggregate limits. So that would be a $27,895 policy premium. Other than that, it's all the lowest amounts, correct? Do you have any other comments? Any Any other suggestions or recommendations?
The only thing I would say about that last recommendation is even by selecting the highest of the two options, it's still a premium reduction from the previous premiums. So you did see a rate reduction there.
I'll move.
All right, got a motion by Mr. Mike Colley.
Second.
Second by Larry Griffin. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Mr. President, this concludes the finance report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Melisson. Next, do we have any other business? Any public comment?
I move that we adjourn, Mr. President.
I got a motion by Jim Lafont to adjourn. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Chris Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. I'd like to thank everyone for coming to the meeting. We had a rough hurricane that passed. Well, it was kind of high to water, but I don't know if we said this on TV, but I'd like to commend all our employees for the high water that was below Golden Meadow. So all our employees did an exceptional job of working that. So, but thank you for attending the meeting. Everyone have a good week. Meeting adjourned.